A teenage girl died after taking a fatal overdose of ecstasy outside the O2 because she feared sniffer dogs would discover her stash, an inquest heard. Emily Leone, 17, collapsed after swallowing 2 lots of the party drug MDMA when she had gone to see a host of grime stars perform last June. SWNS, Southwest News Service Emily Lyons bombed MDMA before going into the O2 arena because she feared she would be caught out by sniffer dogs. An inquest heard Luke Villars was given a 12-month prison sentence, suspended for 2 years for selling the MDMA to Emily. The teenager took the first quarter of a gram of the powder while on the train from her home in Teddington, Middlesex, to Waterloo Station, the hearing was told. She then bombed a second quarter of a gram before going into the Red Bull Culture Clash DJ competition at the London venue because she was concerned sniffer dogs would detect the drugs, the inquest heard. She later complained of feeling unwell, became overheated and had trouble standing, the hearing was told. Emily was rushed to hospital just before 10 p.m. but doctors could not save her and she died a short time later at around 12:50 a.m. on June 17 last year. Her grieving father Steve Leone shared a statement with Southwark Coroner's Cower via email. It read, "How can you sum up your daughter in a couple of sentences? This is such a waste of life, drug overdoses, a failed music career and a doomed search for love." TPT's troubled life. West Brom boss Tony Pulis accuses Stoke rogue Saido Berahino of lying about his MDMA drug shame. UK nightclubs will offer free cocaine and MDMA booths to test whether punters class A drugs are safe to take. Teenager died in her sleep at Boomtown Festival after cocktail of cocaine, ketamine, LSD, and MDMA. MDMA revealed to be more dangerous for women than men as numbers sent to hospital soar. Cops warning over poisonous wave of MDMA pills after teen death on bonfire night. Luke Villars, 18, was arrested in Kingston, London, the next day and admitted supplying the drug to Emily and 3 others. He was given a 12-month jail sentence, suspended for 2 years at Woolwich Crown Court and was ordered to do 80 hours unpaid work. Emily had gone with friends to the star-studded bash, which featured MOBO award-winning grime MCs Wiley and Stormzy as guests. The under-18 event, which saw 4 teams of DJs and MCs competing to be crowned champion, was due to finish at 11 p.m. The A-level student was taken to Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Greenwich where she was resuscitated, but then deteriorated and pronounced dead shortly before 12:50 a.m. A 16-year-old boy at the event was also taken to hospital suffering from the effects of taking illegal drugs, along with 4 other teenagers were also treated by paramedics at the O2. How can you sum up your daughter in a couple of sentences? This is such a waste of life. Steve Lyons. A post-mortem found the cause of Emily's death was taking half a gram of powdered MDMA. A report from paramedic London Ambulance Service, Michael O'Connell, read by Assistant Coroner Philip Barlow, read, "We arrived into the loading bay of the O2 Arena where we were guided to the medical room where a patient who was unconscious had already suffered a seizure. We were told the patient had ingested half a gram of MDMA. Every one of the patient's friendship group had taken a quarter of a gram of MDMA. There was 0.25 of a gram left which the patient had then taken, taking the patient's dose up to 0.5 of a gram. One of Emily's friends had bought 2 grams of the drug on the day of the event and wrapped it up in a cigarette paper bomb to swallow whole." DC Scott Albert for the Met Police told the court that Emily took the extra and fatal dose because she was worried about getting through security with the remaining drugs. He said, "From speaking to Emily's friends, the group bought the drugs from a peer at Easter College and it was divided up before they got to the venue. Drink was taken on the train into London Waterloo and this is where Emily took 0.25 of a gram. In the queue on the way into the venue, she was concerned about drugs dogs and she was waiting to get through security. This is where she took the second, fatal dose, and had taken more than what her friends had." He added, "She complained of being extremely hot. She had to be helped to her feet by 2 friends as she was having difficulty standing. She mentioned to a friend she felt unwell and it was due to the second dose. The venue was very crowded and very hot. Some of her friends did not realize how unwell she was and there was a lot of shock and disbelief when they found out." DC Joel Brown told the court Emily did not think the first quarter of a gram had given her enough of a buzz, and she wanted to buy twice as much as her friends to ensure she had a good night after finishing her exams earlier in the summer. DC Albert said police were never told the makeup of the batch of drugs the group had taken. He added, "It's unclear if the person who supplied the drugs knew what the weight and purity of the batch was. We have asked that question but have never received an answer and will probably never know as we cannot analyze this batch of drugs now. A previous version of this article incorrectly stated that Lily Allen was performing at the concert. In fact, she was simply in the audience.